All right, welcome back. This is Expedition STEM. My name is Andrew. I'm your co-host, and I am here with one of the organizers from the Museum of Science Fiction. I have Nico on the phone. Nico, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Good. And so I have a question for you. You're in Washington, D.C. right now. How's the weather? Because it's kind of raining down here in North Carolina.
Actually, it's beautiful. These last 2 days have been low humidity, 70s, low 80s. It's been a welcome reprieve from the deluge that we had last month, where we set a record, I think, for consecutive days of rainfall. It was wet and miserable. So we're enjoying this spring-like weather in the end of June.
Awesome. Great to hear. All right, so we're here to talk about escape velocity. I know that you're involved with the Museum of Science Fiction. Can you kind of tell us what your role is there?
Sure. I think called, my official title might be Director of External Relations, is I think what is on my business cards. But basically, I just help talk with the media and try and advertise the museum's efforts to anyone outside of the museum. So to you and anyone who's interested.
Okay. And for our audience that might not know what the Museum of Science Fiction is, can you give us a little bit of a lowdown on that?
Yeah, so the museum, first of all, let me say at the top, does not exist in a physical space. So many people, when they hear about it, they say, oh, where is that? I want to come visit. Well, it doesn't exist yet. We're trying to build it, and that's part of the reason why we're hosting this Escape Velocity convention that we can chat about later. But the museum, basically, the idea is going to be, a place where fans of science fiction, both young and old, or people who are, just interested in going someplace in D.C. to spend their vacation, can come and enjoy themselves. But like I said, we're trying to now raise funds and awareness to actually construct it. It's not just an easy thing to do, finding, open space in the D.C. area. So one of the things we're trying to do is build awareness through this science fiction / comic book / World's Fair type event called Escape Velocity, which is happening next month.
Awesome. And so what, when the Museum of Science Fiction eventually opens, what kind of exhibits or displays can people expect to see?
Right. So it's going to be across all genres, or all mediums, perhaps I should say. So it's going to be, things from like props from movies, either the originals or recreations, which have since been lost. Like I'll give you an easy example of one that already exists and that we had on display for a while on our Future of Travel exhibit that we had hosted at Washington Airport last year. And that's the Orion 3 space plane from 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm sure you and your listeners are very familiar with that iconic film. So what happened was, and I didn't know this, after Stanley Kubrick finished 2001: A Space Odyssey, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's his eccentricity or what, but a lot of the props were destroyed. So I don't know if it was intentional or there was an accident, but one way or another, the vast majority of them were lost and don't exist anymore. So we had this master crafter, model builder make us a replica of the Orion space plane, and it's incredible. And we're going to have that kind of thing on display when the museum opens. So there's going to be things like that, but there's also going to be things that never existed. They're only, from novels or from, literature of some kind, like the still suit from Dune. I mean, there was a movie, of course, of Dune, but like the suit that Paul Atreides wears in that, or the maker hook that he uses to ride the sandworm. So there'll be all sorts of props, but in addition to just gallery exhibit, we're going to have a lot of interactive displays. So you'll be able to, arm a photon torpedo maybe, or things that you can interact with either through your cell phone or physically. There's going to be a lot of different things, hopefully, to appeal to a wide audience.
That's awesome. I can't wait till it opens. I'm definitely going to come check it out. It sounds great. I know you guys have a website, right? Can you tell our audience what that is?
We do. So it's museumofsciencefiction.org. We are a nonprofit, so if people would like to check it out or become a member, they're more than welcome to. They can find all the information about the museum there, as well as links to Escape Velocity, which is has its own page. It's escapevelocity.events. You can get the link from our museum website, or just go directly to it and learn all about that.
Great. Yeah, I definitely encourage everyone to check out the Museum of Science Fiction website. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. They talk about the architecture and things like that, and it seems like it's going to be amazing when it happens. And for all those sci-fi nerds out there like me, you're going to love it. You know, you're going to have a whole science fiction building dedicated for you to go to check out whenever you want. So I can't wait till it happens.
Yeah. Just general idea of the kind of galleries that we're going to feature is going to be broken down into kind of different subject matters, I guess you could say, or influential science fiction themes. So it's going to be other worlds, or vehicles, or time travel, aliens. So, you know, there'll be something for everyone, and they can peruse through it and see the iconic examples from each of those different, you know, famous science fiction tropes, I guess you could say.
Awesome. All right, so let's get into escape velocity. So the museum is putting on this event. What is escape velocity?
All right, so escape velocity is the first one we're doing. It's hopefully we're going to be doing it every year. This is our inaugural, and it's kind of a combination of, if you can imagine, Comic-Con. So it's got the entertainment side of it, you know, the San Diego Comic Convention or any comic book convention that you're familiar with. So it's going to have the entertainment side, but also it'll have this kind of engineering, science and engineering festival aspect to it. So we're kind of hoping to make it sort of like a micro version of the World's Fair, which you know, used to be far more popular than it is now. We're kind of showcasing new technologies and trying to, you know, put people in awe and wonder of what's to come. So we're going to have you know, guests from the worlds of entertainment and academia. There'll be panels talking about things from, you know, cosplay or you know, the fun of Star Trek, all the way to, you know, how can we use resources in outer space to help our astronauts when they go on missions. So there's both a science aspect and a science fiction aspect to it.
Yeah, that's great. When I was in, yeah, that's great. When I was at the Comic-Con in Silicon Valley a couple months ago, and I talked to Linda about escape velocity, she was telling me a little bit about this, and I said that the idea of the Comic-Con mixed with the sort of like science fair or festival, that is such a great idea, because you know, you can lure people in with these with the entertainment part or whatever, and that's all great even if you just did that. But then you're also combining it with this science and engineering festival, and you're gonna, I think, wow people even more than the entertainment part of it once they see all the cool stuff that's going to be going on. Like, you're going to have NASA there, right?
Yes, NASA's going to be there. They're going to host a couple of panels. We have some members from the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy are going to be there presenting. Some academics from various universities. I think Cornell is coming. So there's going to be a lot of educational aspect to it, and really that's the heart of the museum's educational mission, is to use science fiction to promote STEM and STEAM interest and help to give, I guess, inspiration to students to pursue those fields through the use of science fiction.
Right. Now, we're only 2 to 3 weeks away from escape velocity. Can you tell us when and where it's going to be?
Yes, it is July 1st to the 3rd at National Harbor, Maryland, in the Gaylord National Resort. It's just across the river from Alexandria, Virginia, which is just down the street from Washington, D.C. So it'll be coming up just this 4th of July weekend. So if anyone is interested in coming down to see us, you're more than welcome. Some folks are going to be here in town anyway, celebrating Independence Day and seeing the fireworks there in the National Mall, and we'll be here the 3 days leading up to Independence Day. So we hope a lot of people will come by and check it out. We have 3-day passes as well as single-day passes, so you know, whatever works for you.
Awesome. And can you tell us some of the exhibits or displays that are going to be at Escape Velocity? You've already mentioned a couple of panels, but I know there's going to be a lot of like high-tech stuff there. Can you tell us some of that?
Sure. So one of the things I'm personally looking forward to, because I've helped advertise it and I've heard about it, but I haven't actually seen it firsthand, is there's going to be drone racing, which is through these first-person view goggles. So you basically wear the goggles and then you can see through as if you were like piloting the drone itself. So these are small
Right.
quadcopters that you've seen, all over, but most people just get to see them from standing on the ground and looking up. But now you'll be able to actually see as if you were piloting them. So that's going to be
Wow.
pretty cool. Yeah. We're going to have a bunch of celebrity guests. Our keynote speaker for this inaugural is Rod Roddenberry, son of Gene Roddenberry of Star Trek fame, of course. He's going to be giving a keynote address at our big gala dinner on Saturday night. We're going to have, there's going to be Adam Nimoy, son of Mr. Spock, of course, Leonard Nimoy. He'll be speaking, and he has a panel. We have a teacher's workshop on the last day, and this is really cool. So this is an opportunity for any K-12 educator who is interested in learning how to incorporate science fiction into their lesson plan, how they can basically come to this workshop for, I guess it's the morning session, and then they learn that, and then they can spend the rest of the afternoon there at Escape Velocity. So they kind of have half work in the morning, but then they can enjoy themselves for the rest of the time. Not to say the workshop isn't enjoyable, of course. And that's kind of building on this pilot program that we did with the museum and a local school here in Washington, D.C., where we had various speakers come in, and it was part of this ongoing series of, I guess you could say, lectures, maybe? I don't know. They were just grade school students. I don't know if lecture is the right word for it, but we had guests coming in from NASA, and we had Star Trek screenwriter Morgan Gendel coming in and addressing the students, and they really loved it. So instead of us going to all the schools and our limited resources, we thought, well, why don't we have this workshop and let the teachers come to us? So that's something else really looking forward to. Let's see what else. There's so much. There's going to be, of course, people are welcome to dress in cosplay if they like.
Awesome.
There's going to be, of course, book signings. There's going to be film. There's an opening night concert. Let's see, what am I forgetting? Oh, there's a bridge simulator. Are you familiar with this? It's a Starship bridge simulator. So you can imagine that you are the captain or the helmsman or the communications officer or engineer, whatever. I think there's 4 or 5 roles, and you and your friends sit in front of these computer panels, and there's a screen in front of you, which is like the view screen from the Enterprise, and there's a scenario that plays, and you as the captain give orders to your friends or strangers, whoever they happen to be, and they can each manipulate their own station. Have you heard about this thing? This is going to be cool.
The first time I heard about it was actually on the Escape Velocity's website, and I was like, where was this stuff when I was a kid?
You and me both, yeah. I'm looking forward to trying it. I hope that there's not going to be a huge line. Maybe I can sneak in before the show starts. But, yeah, that's going to be cool. So I think people can register already ahead of time on our website, maybe. If not, it can always be done on site. And so that's going to be cool. So, yeah, there's going to be fun for everybody. I think both little kids will be able to get something out of it, as well as adults and, not necessarily hardcore science fiction fans, but they too can see something that they like. We're going to have Local Motors. I don't know if you and your audience are too familiar with them, but their basically mission is to create a completely 3D printed car that will be street legal, that people can drive around and,
That's awesome.
make it themselves, I guess, if they have a big enough facility. But if you have Local Motors, can construct one for you. So they're kind of on this kind of cutting edge of technology that we're trying to showcase, like I said, as a World's Fair type of environment.
Are they going to have a car on demo or something that day?
They will have a model there. I don't know if it'll be drivable. They haven't yet, as far as I know, completed an entirely 3D printed car. So they have parts of it that are 3D printed. So I guess the chassis, but I think part of the engine and of course the tires are not 3D printed. But
wow, they want to do the whole thing.
Yeah, eventually.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're not there yet, but if we were there already, then we wouldn't have it at Escape Velocity, because we're trying to show kind of the future of things. So there's going to be some drone facial recognition technology we'll be showcasing, which is something that's really going to be coming into I guess mainstream in the next couple of years, where you'll just be able to walk around and the drone or what have you will recognize your face. So it's going to help kind of with search and rescue operations, you can imagine, or lost person or lost child. If there's a crowd of people, you can imagine you don't know where the child went. So nowadays they scramble to try and find them before something happens to the child. Well, if you have a drone with this kind of recognition technology, it'll be able to scan tell the faces in the crowd and pick them out and alert the security or first responders to help that child. So that will be on showcase. It'll be cool. It'll be cool.
Wow. And I saw something where you're gonna have a program for kids to learn how to like program. Is that right? Like computer programming?
Yeah, that's through Microsoft. They have this venture. IBM Watson will be there, by the way, before I forget, because that's going to be fun. It's a supercomputer that won at Jeopardy. And, I don't even know exactly what he's going to be showing off, but I'm kind of half excited, half scared, because he's much smarter than me. Which actually a lot of people and machines are, so it's not saying much. But yeah, there's going to be this Microsoft, I guess you could say, it's a way to introduce children into programming by helping them to make their own games. I haven't tried it myself, but I saw the kind of overview of it, and people with no coding experience whatsoever, apparently after 30 minutes or an hour, are able to make really simple kinds of side-scrolling, or obviously they're simple games, but it's just meant to show how easy it is to get into, and then hopefully they build an interest in it and they go from there. And like I said, it's all about pursuing or motivating students to pursue a interest or career in STEM. So that's just one example.
Awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of kids are into video games. I'm into video games, but it's definitely another side of the coin when you're talking about programming that video game. And I think there's a lot of kids that are interested, but might not know how you even get started. So that's awesome that they're going to be offering that workshop there to be like, hey, this is sort of how you get started, and if you can do this part, then all you have to do is learn a little more, and then you can do the real thing.
Yeah, the hardest part is just getting that hook in the beginning, but once you show that it's not as intimidating as you might think it is, then sky's the limit, I guess.
Right. All right, so we could probably talk for an hour about all the different events and exhibits that are going to be there. I just want to say to our viewers that one thing that I'm sort of excited to check out is the Star Party. That's on Saturday night, right?
I believe so. It's on the rooftop lounge or bar, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
So that's adults only. So if you're an adult coming, maybe you can have the kids in the hotel room or something. But there's gonna be a party on Saturday night. That'll be cool. And then the gala dinner, is that on Saturday as well?
That is as well, yes, sir.
Okay, and that's going to be hosted by Mr. Roddenberry, correct?
Right. So a lot of the guests who are going to be at the at Escape Velocity are also going to be present at the party at the gala. So if you get a ticket for that, the gala is separate from the Escape Velocity, from the regular Escape Velocity tickets. So you can come and just see the show and have a great time. But if you want to go like an extra step, or if you want to end up staying in the hotel, then we're going to have these evening activities, and the gala dinner is one of them, and that's Saturday night. So Rod Roddenberry will be there. He'll give the keynote, like I said. He'll talk about his father's legacy. This is the 50th anniversary this year of Star Trek, so he's going to have something to say about that. And I don't know, maybe some teasers about the new series. I don't know. He hasn't told me, so don't hold me to that.
Okay.
But yeah, some of the other guests will be there as well. So have a chance to walk up and chat with them, and then after that, like you said, it's going to be the party. And I should say one other thing that's going to happen at the gala dinner is we're going to have an award ceremony for this competition that we hosted earlier in the year. I don't know if you got a chance to see this. It's about the CubeSat. Are you familiar with CubeSat?
Yep.
Okay, so we had a competition worldwide. We got entries from all over. One of the winning teams was from China, in fact, where it was open to, I think, up to high school. I'll have to double check, but basically they presented proposals for a CubeSat that they, the mission and the payload and all of that. And then we had our expert jury pick the best ones. And then those teams are going to be matched up with universities where we can, work together to actually construct it. And then the winners will actually be sent up into space on a future NASA mission. The data is, of course, yet to be determined because, that's the nature of CubeSats. You can't really tell when, NASA or whoever is going to have space for them. But basically, the winning teams get to go up into space. So that's pretty cool. And one of the winners, I think at least one of the winners is going to be there on Saturday night to receive their award for that. So something else for the kids to enjoy.
So have the winners already been chosen or not?
Yes, the winners have been chosen, and we made the announcement, and that is also viewable on our website.
Let's talk about tickets. So you can get tickets for just each one of those days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can get
Mm-hmm.
a full 3-day pass. Can you talk about the
Yeah.
different level of tickets and that sort of thing?
Sure, my pleasure. So yeah, all of that you can get this on the website escapevelocity.events, and then there's the buy tickets up in the corner. So like you said, you can get for Friday or only Saturday or only Sunday, and I should say children 10 and under are free for the whole weekend. So whenever you want to come,
Wow.
if your child is 10 or under, they're free.
Wow.
Used tickets are, of course, a discount. I think they're only like $10 or $15. Um, the whole standard 3-day pass, if you get it in advance for all 3 days, is $50. So it's pretty affordable, I think. I don't know. I don't know how
Yeah,
that
I would say
compares with
so.
Comic Cons or whatnot. Individual day passes, I should say, are either 25 or 30. I think Saturday is 30 because that's the long, that's the full day, and then the other 2 days
Right.
either start late or end early. And then there's, VIP ones if you want to add things onto it where, you get some kind of privileges and some, bonus tchotchkes like a T-shirt or something to that effect. Or I think early entry, you can come in earlier. And then, if you want to add on even more, like I said, there's the gala dinner bundle. And if you want to just do that gala, you could do that separately for some reason. But, yeah, there's different ways that you can come and enjoy the show. So hopefully there's levels that will appeal to everybody.
And when is the deadline for the early weekend pass?
I think that cuts off just 1 or 2 days before. I'd have to
Okay.
double check and get back to you. But as far as I know, we're going to be accepting early passes or advanced passes up until maybe 29th or 30th. So really just as long as it's not the day of, I think you're going to be okay.
And if they do get there on that day, is there still a weekend pass that they can get?
Oh, yeah, people can definitely get, if they want to stay for just the 1 day or all 3 days. But I
Okay.
think the price goes up slightly. I don't know exactly what it goes up to, but it's not going to be anything, I think, too oppressive. But, yeah, advanced tickets are $50 for the whole weekend. So it won't be cheaper than that, but I don't know how much more it will be the day of.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. I just want to tell everybody I'm really excited about this. We're going to be there covering the event with all our lights and cameras and stuff, but it's going to be hard, just like Nico was saying, to avoid trying to be too excited and get in the way and try and play with some of these things that are going to be on display. I definitely want to recommend and say go there for the whole weekend. After you check out the website, you're gonna probably go ahead and buy your weekend pass because there is so much stuff going on that you're gonna not have time to do everything you want to do. So you're gonna have to make a list and write down. You're gonna have to basically create a whole itinerary for the weekend because there's just so much stuff to do, and you want to make sure that you check out everything that you want to see. So definitely recommend getting the weekend pass. If you happen not to live in the DC area, then I definitely recommend staying at a hotel there as well. National Harbor is sort of small. There's only a few hotels around there, but like Nico said, it's right across the river from Arlington, so there's more over there. It's gonna start on Friday and go through Sunday. So if you want to come in for the weekend, and it's 4th of July weekend again, so the 4th on Monday, you can go down to the mall in DC and check out the fireworks. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna be there probably for the 4th as well, so we'll see how bad the traffic is, but yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better than that. I mean, that was perfect. If
Yeah.
folks want to stay wherever they like, that's of course their prerogative. I encourage that. There is a discounted rate if you stay in the actual Gaylord National Resort, which is where the convention is happening. So on our website, there's the hotel tab, and on there it has online reservations. So if you want to get some slight discount staying at the actual place, then you don't have to worry about driving. So you can have more of how shall we say this, adult fun at the bar, can I put it that way? And not have to worry about driving yourself back to your own hotel. But others who are not inclined to that sort of entertainment can, by all means, stay across the river in Alexandria or Arlington.
Yeah, and sorry that I didn't mention that earlier. They do have the link on the website, as Nico said. You just go into, I think it's under the travel link, and it'll give you the direct link to book the hotel. The cool thing about their link for the hotel is that they already have rooms reserved for this thing. So as time gets closer, hotel rooms are going to sell out. But if you go on there now, you can book a room through them, and it's already reserved. You don't have to worry about competing with other people that are going to be in that DC area for the July 4th, because this is going to be a busy weekend. July 4th in DC is crazy, so you definitely want to book your hotel early. Another reason you want to stay at the Gaylord, not just so you don't have to drive anywhere, but think about like during the day, like if you just want to go up to your room real quick to relax for a little bit. If you're staying at the hotel, then you literally just walk somewhere else in the same facility. You don't have to go outside or that sort of thing. So I'll be staying there. I can't wait. And you got to check out the Gaylord site too, because it's an awesome hotel. I've never been there, but they have this full arboretum inside. It's crazy. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a very impressive facility. That's why we chose it for our inaugural, because this is the first time we're doing it, so we don't totally know exactly what we're doing in many aspects. So we want to partner with someone who has a lot of experience and is professional and has hosted many an event before. And so our partners at the Gaylord Resort have been great about that. So it's a beautiful facility, like you said, and it's got lots of restaurants and amenities, plenty of parking, which is rare in DC. So. If you're coming into the city for vacation, you're going to appreciate that the Gaylord has parking available in its huge lot next door. Check that out. And the way you put it is good, because, like I said, it's across the river, so there's no metro that can take you. So if you're planning on staying somewhere else, you're going to have to drive or Uber or taxi it over. Or I guess there's even a water taxi if you want to take a nice boat ride in the middle of the summer. But it's not far, but it's definitely farther than if you just walked up to your room or took the elevator.
Right. All right, well, I just want to say thank you for Nico. I also want to thank the Executive Director of Museum of Science Fiction, Greg. He helped set up this interview. Like I said, I can't wait. Thank you for joining us. Do you have any last words?
No, thanks a lot, Andrew, for having me. I look forward to seeing you and all your listeners and viewers July 1st to the 3rd.
Awesome. So, guys, ladies, kids, check out the links below. We're going to link everything below where you can get your tickets and check out the museum and check out Escape Velocity. All you have to do is click below and make sure you get your early bird tickets because they're at a discount. You're going to want to be there for the whole weekend, and try and get that hotel room if you're out of town. So, check it out. This is Andrew from Expedition STEM. Thank you for joining us.